Starting Joe Flacco. Sorry, I was just looking at my fantasy team, which is just absolutely decimated, dude. I have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So, I was hoping one of them would stay healthy, but unfortunately it's not. But hey, this is an Eagles podcast, and we beat the Bucs this year. So that means it's a good year. Welcome, everybody, to the Philly Blitz podcast, brought to you by 14th and Market. I'm Parth here with Pierre and Quell. It's TPB pod number 125. Eagles versus Giants preview pod.
Whoops. Did not mean to do that.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, I don't know, Peter probably will fix it by then, but our graphic here says TPB pod. Oh, he fixed it already. So now there were 2 D's in there. Oh,
2 D's is crazy.
That was, oh man. As I said it, I was like, oh boy. Starting off strong today. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Excited to face the Giants and get our revenge. We got to get our get back, man.
Talked about it last time. Hell yeah. What about you, Quell? How you doing, man?
Well, a dub to those who celebrate. It is I, the one and only Marquell Fripp Owens, and I'm eager to watch this football team get back on the football field. It's hard to believe it's already midway through the season. Week 8. Yeah. Week 8. The bye weeks next week. So it'll be nice for them to get their stuff together heading into the bye week instead of having us have to go 2 weeks of depression again.
Dude, I know. It's like the Giants game is like right before the bye both times. Like this time, hey, let's play the game and then get to the bye. It's a real bye. It's not a mini bye. But kind of like you outlined, Pierre, it's time for them to get back, man. And I mean, I just want to address it because I'm looking at your guys' sweatshirts now. Missed the memo. Wore it last time. Misread the memo more so. So, I got my Air Saquon shirt on. So, I'm hoping for the best there. But, yeah, shout out to 14th and Market for these hoodies. Probably saw the post earlier this week with the boys. It's a good time. But,
it's always a good time when we link up.
You know it, dude. But, back to this game, man, you said it last time, Pierre. I'm just so glad that we don't have to wait a long time, dude, because that was humiliating. If it was humiliating for us, imagine what it's like for the players, dude. And you could tell, I spoke about it last time that, Jalen walked into the locker room after the Vikings win and was just like, we're not losers anymore, and after you lose a game like that to the Giants where they just, outphysical
you.
Exactly. Like, it's just like they wanted it more. You feel like losers. So this is a chance to really show them what the birds are about, like what this team is about. And after last week, the Eagles, all the Eagles guys, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, all of them talk about stacking good days, stacking good games, start stacking them. Like you said, Quell, we're at the midpoint of the season, right? And we had talked about it at the beginning of the season. Give them time to figure things out. You have to let things kind of play out. And of course, we were worried about things, and you can be concerned, but we said, hey, we'll give them time. Let them figure things out. And so then we see, an unbelievable performance last week. Now, how much of that was play calling? How much of that was the players? That's up for debate. But the point is you had a good game. So now you can build on it, and you can keep going, give us some more under center play action. Maybe, those 4 plays were perfect. You might want to press that button again, but I just think it's a really great opportunity for them to just start building, dude, because now it's the second half of the season. Now is when you really should start heating up a little bit. And then over the next couple of weeks, start to have more of an identity. We talked about that with the Eagles. And even after last game, wouldn't say it was like I wouldn't say you can say the Eagles have an identity yet, right? Like we saw flashes of it, but now is the time, like, put your stamp on it, show us what this team is. So how are you guys feeling? And then we'll get into, our offense versus their defense.
Yeah, you talk about, stacking days and everything like that, and especially with the stretch of games they have coming up against the Lions and Packers and everything like that, it behooved them to go into the bye week at 6-2. But we talked about how humiliated and how embarrassed they felt after the Giants game 2 weeks ago, and for me at least, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for the guys in that locker room. But like that feeling doesn't just go away after one game just because you had a super successful showing 1 week. Like they remember how they felt walking out of MetLife Stadium, right? Like that type of stuff is real. Like we talk a lot about the human element, the human aspect of football, and I feel like it's gonna ring true on Sunday. Man, I wouldn't even show up if I'm the Giants. Like it might get bad for them.
We got to see what's going on, and we'll touch a little bit on this once Pierre gives us his day, the injury report. We got to see what's going on the AJ Brown front first, but once we figure that out, kind of I don't want to say it's an echo what you said, but hard not to remember something when it was just 2 weeks ago. And despite the success that the team had last week, I'm sure that this game they had this. I don't want to say circle, but they knew this was coming up, and they knew that. I mean, they don't have to see the recap of Saquon Barkley only having 12 attempts, Jalen Hurts getting sacked 3 times, the offense being 1 for 9 on third downs. Hell, let's talk about fucking Cam Scatterboo and his 3 touchdowns. Brother, this game was so stressful. It was one of them days. It deserves a swear jar.
Fair.
Like Cam Scatterboo, 3 touchdowns. Cam Scatterboo almost had 100 yards rushing on us. So, and when we didn't even mention Jackson Dart and the performance he had, so just they got to get it cleaned up. I'm eager to see what it looks like.
And like that feeling of embarrassment, Cam Scatterboo embarrassed them. Like he put Zach Bond in the dirt, man.
Oh
you think they're gonna forget that?
Nasty.
No, man.
Not with Nakobe Dean back on the field.
And bro, Stacks fifth. You got your first taste of a victory in years. My God. Act like you've been there. But I know you haven't. But act like you've been there. Oh man, you better. Hurts can't throw over 10 yards. Did you watch last week, Bozo? You clown. Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you. Anyways, let's get into.
Hey man, all 40 of y'all that's tapped in the chat, bro. Y'all got to be Eagles fans. Y'all can't let this man come in our chat,
infiltrate and run down,
infiltrate it like this, man. We a community, we a brotherhood. Where y'all at?
He's wahahaing in our chat, man.
Come on, man.
I'm begging one of y'all to step up for us, man. Come on,
Philly Blitzers. Come on, man.
Anyways, let's get into our offense versus their defense. I think like we kind of talked about. Well, I'm sorry, injury report. Pierre, you want to give us a rundown?
Got you. Give me a second here. Pull it up for the Eagles. Like you alluded to, AJ Brown, he has not practiced all week. He's dealing with the hamstring injury. Cam Jurgens, he hasn't practiced all week. He's dealing with the knee injury. It was the same injury that caused him to leave the game on Sunday. Dory Jackson, he has a concussion. I don't think it's likely that he plays. Zizo Jalari, he hasn't practiced all week. He's dealing with the hamstring. I also saw some reports that he will probably be out on Sunday. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., he did not practice on Wednesday. He was limited today on Thursday with an ankle. Landon Dickerson, he's been limited all week with the ankle and back injury. Moro Jomo, he's been limited all week with a shoulder. Dallas Goedert, he was limited Wednesday, but a full go today on Thursday. He's dealing with the calf. Grant Calcaterra, he missed the game on Sunday. He's been limited all week with an oblique injury. Jacorian Bennett, he was limited on Monday, but he was a full go today. I have to think if Dory Jackson can't go, Jacorian Bennett will get the start at corner. And then Darius Cooper, he was a full go today. And then
had a chance to see some of the highlights from camp today, or some of the highlights from practice today. They showed Jacorian Bennett working with Christian Parker alongside Quinyon Mitchell.
I saw them out after practice too. They both of them were out after practice, just the two of them getting some extra reps. So yeah, I would tend to think it trends that way. AJ injury kind of popping up on the injury report. What did you say about his practice? About his practicing? What did you say, Quil?
Who, AJ?
Yeah.
So he hasn't practiced. He's been there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, also, it wasn't John Clark. Jeff McClain. I believe it was Jeff McClain who reported yesterday that they anticipate him on playing Sunday. But it's just odd for him to miss two straight days of practice. So tomorrow will be huge to see exactly what the status might be for a week.
And then them activating Darius Cooper kind of made me
I think that would
side eye it a little bit.
That kind of would have happened anyway.
He's finally healthy, right? Like, I think just kind of. He was spectacular in the preseason, so
it's not like they're getting much of anything from
Jahan. Yeah,
not just Jahan. I mean, Jahan's doing what he can with what he can get, but like
so let me ask you guys, what do you guys think about like I've seen some things about like the fit of Jahan in the offense that like it would just open things up a lot more if he had somebody who was just a little bit more of like a fast, like kind of take the top off a defense kind of receiver. What do you guys think about that? Do you put any stock into that?
I don't, because we've seen Jahan be at least somewhat productive before. It's just they got to throw him the ball, which they aren't doing again.
I mean, I guess my thing on it is we've seen Jahan be productive as a down the field guy. He did it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, I don't understand. I never understood why they were using AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley on those clear out routes down the field when you could have just been using Jahan Dotson. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's just like the question of whether he threatens enough. You know, like he can be productive, but is he enough of a threat to make people worried about it? I don't know. It's interesting. It's also such a minor thing to worry about at the end of the day.
I mean, it kind of also comes down to, like you just said, Jalen. He has to, when he sees them, he has to pull the trigger. Right. He has to make defenses respect him as a threat down the field. If they see him going down the field and they know Jalen Hurts doesn't usually make that pass, not to that guy, then I mean, tendencies are a real thing in this league.
Yeah. Very true.
But just to give a bit of the Giants injury report, they had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of football. Brian Burns, he has not practiced all week. He's dealing with the hip injury, and he left in Denver last week with a boot on his right ankle. So I don't know how likely it is that he plays. Paulson
Adebo, based on all reports from all Giants guys, it sounds as if anybody's going to play, it'll be him. He's the most likely of anybody.
Okay. Well, the boot and then him not practicing, that had me like, I don't know if he's going to play. But if you saw otherwise, Paulson Adebo, he has not practiced all week. He's dealing with the knee injury. Javon Holland, starting safety, he has not practiced all week. He's dealing with the neck injury. Chauncey Golston, he also has not practiced all week. He's also dealing with the knee or neck injury. Jermaine Alunamore, starting right tackle, he's been limited all week dealing with the knee injury. John Michael Schmitz, he was limited on Wednesday. He was full go on Thursday. He's dealing with the concussion. Darius Slayton, they may get him back this week. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday. He's dealing with the hamstring. And that's about it. Jackson Dart was on an injury report, but he was a full go both days, Wednesday and Thursday.
Interesting. Yeah, I got to say, Stacks fifth. We don't agree, but I appreciate you, man. This is funny, dude. I'm just looking at this. Also, Giants drip, it doesn't work. You know, it's a oxymoron, right? It's an oxymoron that you can't have Giants and drip at the same time. But that's not it. Yeah, I mean, it like Quell kind of pointed out earlier, we're at the halfway point of the season. Teams start getting injuries, you know, these things start stacking up. So it's about how you can play through those injuries as well. With our, I guess, should we get into our offense versus their defense now?
Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, after last week, we saw what this offense is capable of, and you know what they can do if things hit against one of the top passing defenses in the league. I just think it's going to be, like we talked about, interesting to see how they can stack on top of that and continue building on top of the momentum that they had from last week. I also think some of the looks that we saw with the sixth lineman, I don't know if it's because, you know, we had injuries at tight end or not, but, you know, get my boy Gator great Fred Johnson out there. It actually helped. You know, it looked like we had a guy out there who could actually block. You know, it doesn't have the, is he going to be a receiver, and you have that aspect, but you have a guy who's actually going to make his blocks. And so, you know, I would like to see them maybe get more into those, 6 lineman sets and try to run the ball a little bit more out of those next week as well. And just try to get it going, man. Just try to get the run game going as well, because, we saw the pass game get going. Now we just need to be firing on all cylinders,
Yeah, we said it in the lead up to the game 2 weeks ago against the Giants, but if there's a game to get Saquon Barkley going, it's this game. I think the approach should be much of the same as what they came out with early in the first quarter, where you saw Saquon get active and, gain some yardage on the ground. The Giants, they have the 25th ranked rushing defense in the league, so they can and should be had on the ground. And not only just Saquon, but getting Jalen Hurts in the mix too in the QB run game. Bo Nix last week had 5 rushes for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think the approach offensively for this team, like you said, Parth, you want to see a little bit more of the under center play action and some of the RPO game. Just mix it up. You don't want to lean too far into the explosive side like they did 2 Thursdays ago. Like I said,
Right.
just mix it up. A lot more of what we saw on Sunday.
Have to say that, if you're the Giants defense, I don't know how eager you are or not eager to get back on the football field after the showing that they put on in the fourth quarter of the last football game. 33 points in the single quarter is abysmal. That's literally an NFL record. It's literally never happened before. But what's hilarious,
Bo Nix led 3 straight scoring drives.
And they just couldn't buy a stop.
Talk about being walked down.
Brother. But when you talk about this Giants defense and how the Eagles offense could attack it, first and foremost, it comes down to protecting Jalen Hurts, man. You have to protect Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been sacked, I believe, at least 3 times. And each year he goes, Jalen Hurts has been sacked at least 3 times in 4 of his last games, 6 against Denver, 3 against New York and Minnesota, respectively. The Giants defense have had at least 1 sack in, I believe, every game this year. You got to worry about Brian Burns, who, yes, he's on the injury report, but if he does play, this is the NFL's leader in sacks on the other side of the ball. So you got to respect that.
Wait, I thought it was Benito.
Nah, he in the. They're tied, actually. They tied with 9.
He was furious after the game last week, dude. That was so funny.
But kind of like you guys just, like you outlined, man, you got to be able to get this under center play action going. You kind of got to stay committed to the bit. The Eagles ran 42% of their plays from under center. I talked about last podcast about how 15% of those plays came from heavy personnel. You just talked about part for them having Big Fred Johnson out there, the importance of what that did to the offense. When you look at that compared to this Giants defense, who are giving up the eighth most air yards per throw on yards between 10 and 19 yards, that middle to intermediate area of the field is kind of where you should attack if you're Philadelphia. Not to mention, you think about some of the games earlier this year, like the Saints game where Spencer Rattler hit Rashid Shaheed for an 87-yard touchdown. And, of course, Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb on a deep crosser. All of those came from under center play action. So it's there. The blueprint has been there. And if you guys are going to kind of, like I just said, commit to the bit, I feel like it'll open up a whole lot offensively.
With you. It's going to just come down to execution, right? It's so simple to say, but I wasn't on the pod, with the first Giants game, but it was just you should win this game because you're the more talented team, right? But it's any given Sunday and anything can happen. But like we kind of outlined, it really just felt like this team. Pierre, you said talk about walk down. It felt like we got walked down. In that game, and it just was no answers.
They just got outplayed. They just got outplayed.
Exactly. So this game is just going to be about execution. Make your blocks. Find the opening if you're Saquon. Catch the ball if you're one of the receivers. But it's just you got to put the ball on them if you're Jalen. But it's just about execution because you have the pieces. You've shown that you can make the things happen, but it's just making them happen, which is obviously easier said than done. But I really just think that's the key for this offense is just get out of your own way.
And even, you talk about execution, even, with how bad the first game against the Giants went, like there were plays to be made. They just missed throws. They went away from the running game. So, like you guys said, it's just simple execution. Like you can't miss like the downfield throw he had to, I think, Smitty that he missed. You
Yeah,
cannot do that. You
game
can't
changer.
do that.
Right.
Yeah. Or the interception. You can't do that. You got to execute.
And I like that you said don't get away from the run game either. You just like have a consistency in your approach. That's been my biggest issue with the offensive play calling and everything is just the process behind it. I just want to see like you guys build plays on each other. And the players talk about it too. And that's what's like frustrating about it. It's like, dude, the players know like you want to be able to like build off of each play, right? You want the run to build off the pass and the pass to build off the run. But there's just been this disconnect, and I'm hoping they're just starting to figure it out because I think seeing that under center play action shows that they're thinking about these things, right? Because that is how you can do that. Shio Kapadia pointed it out on the Ringers Philly especially. All these quarterbacks who are having the resurgences, like Darnold, Carson, Baker. A lot of them are just doing a lot of under center play action. Makes things a lot easier on your quarterback. It keeps defenses on their toes. It gives you that half a second, extra, but just want to see them do it more. So you got something to say, Qua?
Yeah, man. Just first kind of the piggyback on what you just said. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand the whole bit of getting in the shotgun, throwing the ball. And I get that's what Jalen has done mostly his whole life, basically. But I seen a clip earlier this week of him doing this combine. Well, it wasn't a combine, but it's pre-draft season. He was talking to Steve Mariucci, and he asked him to draw up a play for him. He said, look, all these quarterbacks get cute. They want to be in shotgun. Where I come from, the great quarterbacks are Steve Young's. They're under center. So draw me up your favorite play, Jalen. You want to be in the shotgun. You want to be in the under center. And he looked at him. He was like, I want to be like your boy Steve. Under center. Like, see, he has the want to there. Yeah. So I don't understand where the disconnect is coming from.
That's cool, dude. That was the comparison that was there. Like we talked about that on the pod, like we were just kind of like Steve Young was like on a kind of loaded roster, but he just found ways to win, whether it was running, whether it was throwing the ball. Sorry, that's really cool, like connection right there.
Yeah, I get you. But so kind of like you said, just got to commit to the bit with running the football. The running the football sets up the under center play action. It sets up all the success. And you look at Denver and how not only the success they were able to have on the ground, they got 142 yards rushing. And 81 of those came from Dobbins, and 49 of those came from Knicks. But then when you get into the film and the nitty gritty of some of it, you saw the Eagles against Minnesota last week ran a bunch of those tall sweeps to Saquon. And long and behold, the Broncos had a lot of success doing a lot of similar things with Dobbins on tall sweeps against the same Giants defense last week. So again, you just got to be able to commit to the bit if you're Philadelphia. You get back to Philadelphia Eagles football. Now, I'm interested to see exactly how this whole Brett Toth and Dexter Lawrence thing goes, but I'll talk more about that.
That is an interesting matchup to what the whole Brett Toth, Dexter Lawrence thing. Yeah, it is the whole thing, bro. Like,
you don't think Cam is playing?
I doubt it, bro. He hasn't practiced this week. He left the game early. I wouldn't honestly like
about MRIs and stuff like.
Dude, like just give him the 2 weeks, bro. He needs it. He needs it, But again, you don't want to look past the opponent, but like, dude, if your center can't play the rest of the season, sometimes you have to just sacrifice a pawn there, right? Like you just have to be willing to live with the decision because he's clearly not healthy. Like he just has not been healthy all season. So hoping he gets healthy soon.
Somebody get Drew Kendall on the line.
I know.
I don't get that either. Like
why they haven't played him?
Or even giving him an opportunity. I haven't heard anybody mention anything about. And granted, they only allow them to see certain parts of practice, so they don't get to see the real. Well, this person was in 7-on-7 anymore, or on team drills anymore. It's just the workouts.
Yeah,
but I don't hear anything about Drew Kendall. Like
it is interesting. It is interesting. you gotta just kind of assume that then he's just not popping in practice at this point. I mean, he was smaller, right? Like that was kind of the big thing, that he might have to put on a little bit of weight to play at the next level. But yeah, it's interesting, Quell, because they went and specifically drafted a center 2 years in a row, mind you, right? Like specifically draft a center and then just doesn't touch the field. It's especially when your center is injured. It's fascinating. And Brett Toth is a turnstile a lot, and he struggles snapping the ball too sometimes. So it's just like, maybe you do want to use the real center. Isn't that the whole reason we got him? I remember talking in draft season that like, none of the other guys can really snap. That's why they went and got a center. So I don't know, man. It's yeah, the old line just being this decimated this year, it's really sucks, dude.
I'm actually just about to mention that before we move on to the other side of the ball. Like, I had the chance to watch the early portions of that Chargers and Vikings game. That's the one right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Kai Beckman once again was out. And I started to say, it was like, damn, he always hurt. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, he was on the same offensive line as you sitting there talking about our offensive line all banged up, can't get through games. Why is it a surprise that he's doing the same thing just because he's in a different uniform? Mm-hmm. So you can see the toll that Super Bowl run took on that offensive line around the league right now.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even know that he's been missing games, but it totally makes sense.
He's been in and out of the lineup, man.
The entire Chargers football team has been hurt.
Well, yeah, I knew that, dude. Like they got the injury bug.
That happens every year.
I know, but this year it felt like it was earlier, bro. They lost because they lost Alt too, right?
He's back now.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yeah, but they lost Slater for the season. They lost Slater for the season like 2 days after he signed the highest contract for an offensive lineman in history. I'm like, my goodness. Talk about timing.
Chargers. Sounds like the Chargers, man. Shouldn't have left San Diego. And all the
only LA team should be the Rams. Either the Rams or the Raiders.
Yeah, like I like the Rams more. I feel like the Raiders should have been.
The Chargers can stay in LA. They're just going to continue to stay cursed until they get their own stadium, man. Like, get out of their people's homes. You too team.
I just hate the idea.
I see you. Get out of them people's homes. Go get your own stadium, man.
I just hate the idea of teams leaving a city, bro. Like, I would just be so broken if the Birds left Philly. You know what I mean? And like Oakland had to deal with that. San Diego had to deal with that. And it's just like, for these manufactured freaking St. Louis, yeah, just these kind of like manufactured stadiums. They just want to have.
I mean, I kind of feel less and less bad for Oakland as the time passed, because like every single last one of their teams left. It wasn't just one in one sport.
Oh no. That's why I feel bad for them, bro.
Something's going on.
That area was cool, bro. Like I went to like a baseball game in the Coliseum, and I went to the old Oracle, like the Warriors stadium. Like, it was cool. They had like a stadium district.
They had legit fans there, but something going on. I don't know.
Obviously
the fans are getting caught up on something that they had no business in. It's probably the teams trying to get more from the city, and the city just being cheap.
That's exactly
fans got to pay for it.
I think that's what it was. It just sucks, dude. Because it just go to LA and Vegas. It's like, all right, like, yeah. There's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like deep-blooded fandom. You know, that's what's special about the Eagles, right? Like, you go up to like the nosebleeds, and it's like, yeah, my family's owned these seats for the last like 80 years, and they've been passed down 3 times. Like, there's something special about that.
There's a lot to do in Vegas, though, bro.
That's the point. So why would you go to a football game?
Like gambling.
You don't have to go to Vegas to gamble, apparently. Just go
to the boys in Portland.
Boys in Portland. They were using the glasses that they were using for like looking at the cards and stuff. Dude, they said X-ray tables.
Out of this,
it was like some X-ray table or something like that.
Crazy,
bro.
I was shocked when I'm pretty sure y'all saw my tweet when I saw the Mafia. I'm like, the Mafia.
Yeah, bro. It sounds like I guess you haven't gotten that far yet. It sounds like the Mafia was using Chauncey Billups basically as a face to lure big names in there. Like, if you see Chauncey Billups in there, you know it's some serious money involved. You coming, you gonna want to play. So they were just using him, and
they were using them. And then, like, if they like get any debt or anything, that's why they were getting information from all these guys too. Like, it's just like, as soon as you get in there, they're gonna find a way to use you for something.
But how he get mixed up with the Mafia? Like,
watch The Sopranos, bro. Watch The Sopranos.
Like
It'll
how?
answer all your
Like
questions.
who he called? Like what is that?
He's
How?
a degenerate. He's a degenerate gambler, bro. Like I'm sure he found the circles, man. Like he wants to just go gamble all the time and spend crazy money like that. Like yeah, I'm sure you make the friends. But somebody said like with the jewel thieves in France, mafia gambling ring, and then sports betting gambling ring. With all those, we're back in the 1920s. It's like it's pretty funny. Like, what, dude? What is going on? I'm hearing about the mafia and jewel thieves, dude. Like that's crazy. Anyways, any more thoughts on the gambling ring?
Let's talk more football.
Free Terry Rozier.
Hey, LeBron's next.
LeBron is. Hey, no, my GOAT is innocent.
LeBron's next. All right. So our defense versus their offense. I really don't have much to say, bro. Just show up. Like last game, they just didn't show up. Didn't have Jalen Carter, to be fair, and like those things, but just show up.
I don't think it's that simple, brother.
For the Eagles,
I wish it was, but it's not that simple.
I just felt like they just got out muscled last game, where it just felt like they weren't doing anything special, dude. Like they were just running Cam Scatterboo from friggin' 8 yards deep, and he's just running into their face.
A lot of it was just Jackson Dart playing backyard football. Like when you get hands on him, bring him to the ground.
I mean, again,
first time I've lost to Jackson Dart.
It sounds ideal, but yeah, how does it feel, bozo? But
feels horrible, dude. I feel sick to my stomach. I've watched him with his stupid chain, and they're like headbutting each other after the interview. I was sick to my stomach. I almost threw my phone across the room. I was like, "Get this off my screen, dude."
But I mean, it sounds ideal. But when you start digging into how the Giants' offense has been performing over this last couple of weeks,
it's just
hard to say, man. It's kind of
you're right,
the wall, buddy.
You're right, but you also see the offense just sputter to a stop, right? You can do it. Broncos didn't let them score. I feel like with a half essentially.
I mean, well, that's the defense's fault. They stunk it up, but I feel like you guys are. I don't want to call them blinders, but we've seen success for so long. We've been to 2 Super Bowls. We've won one. This regime has been through a whole hell of a lot. That I think you guys have kind of forgot what hope and optimism look like. What we looked like in year 1 of the Jalen Hurts experiment. The little simple things that other people were like, they're not really doing much offensively, but we're like, do you not see how this is going for us and how this is working out and why this goes into this and why this makes this work? Like they're in the middle of that honeymoon right now.
But those honeymoons come to a close.
I mean, yeah, but
and like I think they kind of got a hot streak. I just personally, the reason I'm honestly not like freaking out about it, I just don't trust Jackson Dart. He was on a heater. He hit a heater in that game, and like you can't take that away from him. He was making the throws. But I do not trust him. And I think that our D-line was not nearly healthy enough. And obviously we're dealing with some injuries at the edge this week. But I think having Jalen Carter back is going to make a huge difference. I think you have to make Jackson Dart uncomfortable, right? Like I can go back to the Ole Miss game against Florida, right? Like they just beat him because they just hit him, right? Like you just hit him and you just get in his face all day. Obviously it's easier said than done because he's an athletic guy. But that pressure up the middle, I just think you can start collapsing pockets on him, and then you force him into how you want to play defense. I think you have that ability to do that with Jackson Dart at this point. Now, he can grow, right? Like just like Jalen did, he can grow. But at this point, I think he's limited enough where if you can make the offense one-dimensional, then I think all of a sudden you have a much easier time in terms of just like kind of corralling what's going on. But last game, it just felt like it was out of control because they were able to run the ball at will on us. And then just like we talked about for our offense, if you can open up the run game, then all of a sudden the pass game starts opening up. So I just think it's about bringing the physicality to the Giants instead of letting the Giants bring the physicality to us. I'm not trying to look past it, Quell. I totally understand what you're saying. And they have every reason for optimism and hope, right? You just won a big game against the Eagles. You haven't beat them in a long time. Like totally understand that. But I also remember from the years of us growing, like some games it was like, oh, everything's firing in all cylinders right now, and then some games it was like bashing your head against the wall, And so I just think the Eagles have that ability to make this into a bashing your head against the wall type of game. They just didn't play up to their standard last game, and you win some of those in those earlier years, and you hang your hat on it.
Sorry about that. Something
you good. You came, you showed up, you were ready for it, but at the end of the day, like when we had to go play some of like the more legit, like if I'm trying to think of like some of the teams where we would just go like the Bucks, right? Like you go down to the Bucks and it was like, oh boy, like what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Todd Bowles. Bowles is going to just throw some stuff at Jalen. It's going to be super confusing. And then if you start the game off like that, then all of a sudden you kind of have the momentum, right? Especially with some of these younger teams, it's such a momentum-based game. I really, really just think you have to just go out there and just be ready to play. Just have a chip on your shoulder after last game, which I think they will.
Yeah, and it's not even just Jalen Carter. Like Quinyon Mitchell is going to be active. Like we saw, Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo look like deers in headlights versus Lil Jordan Humphrey, Wandale Robinson, and who was the other receiver? Am I forgetting somebody? But even still, against those two receivers,
Wandale Robinson tweet
you're forgetting me. You're forgetting that Joe Schoen
did call you.
I think I seen out there. I handed out a couple waters. Got a nice green pass.
Like you said, Part. Like I understand what you're saying, Q, when you talk about optimism and hope and everything like that. But a lot of this Giants offense, it's been Jackson Dart running around and just making stuff happen, right? Like statistically, they're 25th in EPA per play, like 26 in total EPA, 26 or 28 in success rate. Like this offense,
I feel like a lot of like when you say a lot of these numbers, all of these numbers are taking into account games that Russell Wilson played in.
It's true.
They aren't just Jackson Dart numbers. Like since the Giants, since Jackson Dart has taken over, ranked sixth in scoring at 25.2 points per game, 12th in total offense at 334.5 yards per game. Like they aren't bums now.
So let me ask you this: do you trust Brian Daboll against Vic Fangio? Because to me,
I don't. I trust Vic Fangio to handle Brian Daboll, but I'm very curious to know how Vic Fangio goes about this. Because last game when they played, it was, young quarterback, let's blitz him, let's see what he got. And in that moment when they did that to him, he was I believe he had 99 yards passing. I think he was like 9 for 13 against the blitz, had a touchdown. Like he essentially carved our blitz up. So if you're Vic Fangio, that's why it's cool to potentially have a guy like Brandon Graham or to have Jalen Carter back so you can control the interior of the offensive line, like you said earlier, Park. Like those kind of things will play a big factor in it. But you also got to stop the fluky. Like you just said, Pierre. I mean, they completed 2 passes down the field to Lil Jordan Humphrey and me for 20 plus yards. And when you look at it legitimately, Jackson Dart has completed just 2 of his 16 passes for 20 plus yards down the field this season. That literally means both of the passes he completed came against us in that one game. So,
my God, bro, kill me, please. My God, dude. This is miserable. We could win the Super Bowl and that's still on our heads, dude. It's like losing to the Falcons last year. It was like, great, dude. We still lost to Kirk Cousins. Like, I have to live with that for the rest of my life. Jackson Dart's 2 completions are on the Eagles, bro.
Like this, I'm really intrigued by how Vic approaches this matchup. Because I don't think this is it could be just a blitz crazy matchup because I don't think we're just going to get home with 4. Not just with how Andrew Thomas has been playing. Andrew Thomas has been playing lights out. He's been playing so well that he legitimately made the Broncos move Nick Menino to the other side.
That's
like they changed their whole game plan about how they rushed the passer because Andrew Thomas was that dominant. So I don't know. I have no idea exactly what Vic can do to stop this guy. I'm eager to see what the game plan is. And I think a lot of the game plan is he's going to take a page from the offensive playbook. I got guys and you don't. I got the best defensive player on the field in Jalen Carter, and I got my number one cornerback. So I don't trust the pass catchers that you guys have. I mean, you beat me once. If we played this game 10 times, how many times you think you're going to beat me? Not necessarily Eagles versus Giants, but them receivers against our cornerbacks. And you won that game because we didn't have our guys. But how often does that happen? Not only would we potentially have Quinyon, but we might just not have to see Adoree Jackson or Keely Ringo. So it's
plus
kind of a completely different ball game, man.
Totally agree. Yeah, like you said, I think you put it out well, Quell. Where it's just going to be interesting to see what buttons he pushes, right? Because
I think we could see some of this a similar approach that we saw last week against the Vikings, though, in terms of seeing N'Kobe, Campbell, and Zach Bond, because the Giants, they do run a lot of heavy personnel.
Yes.
They run 12 personnel at 10th highest rate in the league. So I think we could see them drop Jihad now.
Ideally, that's what happens, so we can stay in base.
I think we're going to see that a lot. I think we're going to see that kind of weird formation, kind of the way that nickel came to the forefront last year, because it was just the way to get your best players on the field. Now, obviously, once Nolan comes back, we'll see. But I also have a feeling they'll still try to just get all these guys on the field because you just have so many smart playmakers. Like you just need to find a way to,
like you said, you could always move BG inside, and it's ways they can make it work.
Exactly. So I have a feeling like it's just kind of this like nagging thought in my head. Maybe it's because I was so in on it at the beginning of the season, but it works, man. It really works, and I think there's something to be found there. And Vic Fangio hasn't shied away from that. Like with that Bears team, very similar kind of setup, and he ran those 3 linebacker sets with 1 linebacker on the edge a ton. So,
and it's interesting how they used Jihad last week, where like they had him on the line, but he only rushed the passer like what 2 times, right. 3 times.
Yeah, and I love the interchangeability you have with Bond and Jihad there as well. And that's why I was saying like I would like that's why I like N'Kobe as like just like the mic like
that's
you
made the change
there.
Up so good. That's what made the change up of Jalix dropping in the coverage that place.
So yeah,
because it was usually Jahan doing all that. So Carson looking like, okay, he's rushing the passer. He's not rushing the passer. What do you mean? Like just
ball left his hands. Like,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, ball left his hands and he got Jalen Carter's shoulder in his stomach. So I don't think he was thinking
he got hit in the chest today, and I was sitting there like I'm sure he still feels Jalen Carter.
Did y'all see on the replay? Jalix is running back and Carson's just laying on the field like the Peter Griffin meme.
I have not seen that. I have not seen that. I need to go watch that expeditiously. All right. I think we give a good outline. Before we get into takeaways, I just wanted to bring up a little bit of Eagles
matchup to watch.
Sorry, matchup to watch. Yeah, it's been a long day.
Takeaways
from the game that hasn't happened, but wanted to see what you guys thought. We were talking about it in our chat a little bit. Eagles plane sighted in Tennessee. Word on the street is that it could have been some Howie Roseman action down there. Maybe speaking with the Titans. What do you guys make of that? Anything?
Big Dom doing his due diligence into Roger McCreary.
Because Simmons is untouchable, right? Like that's basically.
I don't think they're trading him.
Yeah, they said like Simmons and Ward are basically.
I think it's too minuscule. We need to think Tremont Jones. Bring me Tremont Jones. Pressure off the edge.
He has some edge and inside versatility, right?
Mm-hmm. And he's good against the run. We need that.
Yeah, honestly, like.
And best of all. Oh, age.
Yeah, I don't want this guy.
What's his money look like? I'm gonna do a quick Google.
So let me ask you guys this, like, because I'm trying to think about it myself and kind of grappling with it.
This is nothing.
If we were to make a move, would you rather it be for edge or for corner? You only get one move. What would you rather make a move for?
Corner.
Edge.
I'm thinking edge too, man. I just like you can mask corner deficiency with edge. I don't like it's tougher to do it the other way. And
like we seen this team last year, and we talked about how they were built from back to front for the first time in a long time. But the front was really damn good. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
And now we see what it's like from a team that's built back to front. Could use some work in the back, but built back to front, and you're not getting any production from the front.
But brother, all it takes is one injury, and you're back to Keely Ringo.
Dude, I mean, I totally agree with you, but like, I just think we have more playmakers on the
quarterback down. We wouldn't have to worry about
exactly. Like I just
Little Jordan Humphrey cooked us.
Brother, how many times did you watch
nobody was touching Jackson Dart? That's part of it.
Jackson Dart and Carson Wentz, and I can go Dak Prescott. I can every single quarterback that we played this year, honestly, all of them. Baker Mayfield. How many times did we watch the Eagles game this year and you like, that's why, get him. They got scrambles for 12 yards. Drive kept alive. And you like, my goodness, like we just don't. They do a really good job of getting home. Pressure gets home. They just don't finish.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from.
You also have to consider the guys that are getting back from like Nolan's going to be back. Aziz is going to be back. Like,
dude, okay, so Aziz, the guy who didn't play for the first 6 weeks, is going to be back, and we're excited about that. Like he has some juice, but like, dude, it's pretty clear. Like that room is like dying, dude. And you talked about one injury, right, at corner, one injury at edge, and they are doing whatever they want on the edge. Teams just specifically run at the edge of our defense because we can't stop it.
I don't think Brandon Graham is coming back to play 56 snaps a game.
He might have the legs now because he didn't go through camp, but he's got to get the conditioning up.
Yeah, okay, meat off the bone.
I know.
Chicken wing.
They said he's been working out he was working out with them all off season.
But like it's game shape is different, right? And they'll tell you that too. It's just it's different.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back to bad corner play.
I understand it, but like I also think
Fangio to be able to mask bad corner play.
You can't mask Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. You cannot.
You can.
If you have
all more cover tricks.
And if you have good edge play, I think you can cover for them, dude. We've seen worse defensive coordinators be able to cover for a bad cornerback with good edge play. Imagine if now we have a good defensive coordinator. And it's like, Pierre, if I could make both trades, I'd obviously make both. And I'd be like, yeah, of course I want to get another corner too. Like it's clearly a big issue, but if it comes down to it, dude, the defensive line room is just emaciated, dude. Like, dude, like real, though, everyone keeps getting injured. Everyone.
The answer to the question that I gave is what I would do. But if I'm being real, though, I think it's probably going to be a corner
because they think of BG as like
It's not even just when you think of BG. Like when I look, at least how I see it, and maybe call me crazy. Let me talk y'all through my thought process, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy. But you sit here and you look at this Eagles team as they stand right now, and they just lack depth. They don't have the bodies, and even if they did have the bodies, the ones they got weren't being very productive. But here you are, you get Brandon Graham back this week. You get Nolan Smith back next week. And long and behold, you're looking at a pass rush group. Of course, when you get Aziz back with Brandon, Nolan, those are your two run stopping first and second down guys. And you can kind of keep everybody else healthy, rotate them on third downs. Kind of give you an arsenal to work with. I think they'd be content with having fresh bodies as long as they got the rotation to work with. Now, I mean, it's a hard bet to make because we just seen what it looked like if one person gets injured.
Yeah, that's my issue, dude. And like we have a lot of older guys.
We don't have any answers at cornerback. If we go out on Sunday and Ja'Cory Bennett doesn't work, we have no answers at cornerback too.
Yeah, the way I see it is like they've been finding ways to mask it so far, right? Like you see Cooper playing outside on some downs, like if it comes down to that, which obviously it's not ideal, but I still like edge just keeps coming up because I was gonna say corner, but edge keeps coming up because we have multiple defensive linemen who are in the back half of their career, right? We have two guys who were like young guys, and I mean, BG, obviously, he just retired. Azeez Ojulari is older now. Like, he's got to be.
He ain't that old, is he? I'm sitting here thinking, like, who else he trying to write off?
He's like 27, 28, I think.
All right. He's only 26, 25, 26. So,
my gosh. He said that boy knees is 42.
the man's not getting on the field until week 6, bro. Vic Fangio just had it out for him. So I was like, I don't know, man. There's got to be something. But then he gets on the field, he gets injured. Uche he's been playing fine this year. But then we had Okoronkwo. He tears his tricep. Like, we just can't stay healthy there. And that's why I just like, I don't know. I just want that stable of like hella pass rushers. It's what I'm used to. And I feel like we just have so many talented bodies on the back end where you can kind of make things kind of shake out. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at either move, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
I wonder if Ty Robinson just ain't cutting it right now.
Yeah, he hasn't really gotten many snaps. He played a little bit at the beginning of the season. We saw some, but last couple of weeks we haven't seen much. That picture of Jordan Davis and Ty Robinson was hilarious, dude. Hilarious, dude. You literally made him look like a regular guy. He looked like a normal person, dude, not an NFL defensive lineman. That was crazy. All right.
But Draymond Jones, just to put a bow on it, his contract, 1 year, $8.5 million, 7.99 guaranteed with a $6 million signing bonus. So if they want to make a move, the money matches for him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
How about we do a 2-for-1? Draymond Jones and Roger McCreary.
For what?
Yeah, for what? What are you giving
for a third and a fifth next year?
A third and Patrick Johnson. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
They're probably going to leave
I'm not even trading him a third. There's nobody.
How we going to get on the phone?
Third round pick. I'm not trading a third round pick for a guy.
Is the deadline tomorrow?
It's 2 weeks.
No, it's November 9th, right? Or November 8th.
Yeah, no, it's not. Okay.
How we going to get on the phone?
Talking about it.
Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know, man. I also wouldn't be surprised if we just see some like margin move again. Like that's kind of the history that we've seen with Howie Roseman, and I don't know. He doesn't really make splashes mid-season. That's not. Has
there been an update on Asante Samuel Jr.?
I haven't checked into it.
I don't know.
I've been too busy stressing.
I see. That's the one I've been willing to do since the beginning of the year. I was like, if you can get a guy like that who's actually played at a high level, who's off the street right now because of injury, like, you know, you see who's got tires.
Last I saw, it was like they were waiting on results of a CT scan, or they were trying to schedule a CT scan for his neck.
Is he even going to play?
Huh?
Is he even going to play?
What do you mean?
He talking about neck.
Oh yeah. I mean, as the caveat is obviously as long as he's healthy. Like if he can play, I would make that move and then go trade for an edge. That's what I would do personally. But anyways, let's get into our matchups to watch. Quell, you had one you wanted to start with? You already brought it up a little bit.
Yes. So I'm trying to remember which side of the ball that is.
Their defense versus our offense.
Okay. Their defense versus our offense. Matchup I'm watching is Brett Tolles, buddy. You getting to start again, man. This week you ain't just coming in hot. You got a full week of practice. You should be well prepared. But the person on the other side of the ball is Dexter Lawrence. And I was just looking into some stats earlier on the day, and I don't have it right in front of me, but basically to give you the overview of what the stats were, it just kind of gave you an outline of how Dexter Lawrence has been used over the last 5 years of his career. And for the most part, he was a guy stuffing the A-gap. And he shared some versatility. He had some over tackle, had some B-gap. But for the most part, he was an A-gap guy. Now, when you look at how he's been utilized this season, thank goodness Shane Bowen has decided to have him be a bit more, what's the word you like to use, Pierre? Show some multiplicity. But he's been a little bit of everywhere. He's been in the B gap a whole hell of a lot more. The numbers he's played in the B gap so far this season almost equate the numbers that he's played, at least on average, in the B gap over each of the last 4 seasons. So granted, they've been moving him around, and it's fun. You can do those kind of things when you got guys like Brian Burns and KT and Abdul Carter, but it's also shown up on the stat sheet with how ineffective the run defense has been. And I think it's no surprise that that should correlate to them moving him out of the A gap. But with the Eagles having the issues that they do at center, I just wonder if they just sit here and say, hey, buddy, go sit right there over him and give him a whole hell of a day and see how this goes for you.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I'm not excited to watch that one. I'll put it that way. For me, I'm going to go, Brian Burns, if he plays. You know what? You guys always cheat. I'm going to cheat this time. I'm going to go their edge room versus our tackles because I think
that's not cheating. That's a matchup.
No, it is cheating.
I got another one. I hope somebody uses it.
All right, we'll see. So anyway, I'm going to go with the edge room versus our tackle room. I think Lane's been playing spectacular this year. Like just unreal at this age. Mailata has played well, but he struggled a little bit too. So I just want to see them strengthen up, like just turn the faucet off, because they have the ability to. And obviously we're playing some really talented edge players, but I think I just want to see the offensive line just start to figure things out a little bit.
Yeah, so for me, I'm looking at Saquon versus Bobby. Is it Okereke? Is that how you say it? Okereke?
Okereke. We go through this every year.
Okay. We really do, bro. We really do. But yeah, we talked all pod about the Eagles and their willingness or lack thereof to run the ball in this first matchup. And looking at, like I said, the Giants' run defense, they ranked 25th against the run. Like, you have to be able to run the ball, stick to it consistently, especially because, like you talked about, Q, Brett Toth is going to be starting. So you got to be able to run the ball on them.
Not ideal.
What was your last one, Quell? If you want to just get it
I was actually wrong. It was on the other side of the ball. So
all right, perfect. Starting it off strong.
So my matchup to watch on the other side of the ball. This is fun. This is full of fun. I'm going Eagles linebacker, Zach Bond. Hopefully not much of Nakobe Dean in this aspect, but based on how much 12 personnel they play, I feel like the game plan might be to test his legs and see where they at in real life. But Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, Jahad Campbell, whoever the mix of the three that are out there against this Giants tight end duo that went for 150 yards last week, including Daniel Bellinger, who had a deep touchdown. I think he went for like 3 for 81. And, of course, Theo Johnson, who I talked about him the last time we had the Eagles-Giants pod. He scored a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games. This Giants tight end group has been fun. They don't have many receivers to throw the ball to, so they've made it work. She said, I got guys in the middle of the field that they talented and they can catch the ball. And for this Eagles line, this is what we've been waiting for, man. This is what we paid money for. This is what we invested high draft capital for. We got tired of years on years. This is in memory of, what's my man name? Nick Morrow. This is in memory of Nick Morrow and guys who got tortured by Kyle Shanahan in the middle of the field for years in the horrible linebacker play we watched. This where
Nate Gary.
Hey, Nate Gary. Like Howie Roseman, you need to be tuned in close and personal to that, because this is where you sit here and say, so is this position really worth the assets that I'm invested in it? And you find out on Sunday.
Who was Buddy they drafted who retired like midway through training camp? It was a linebacker.
I don't remember now, but it's just crazy that Nate Gary and Nicholas Morrow were a linebacker room. That was our linebacker room.
Don't forget Anthony Singleton. He was here at a point.
Alex
Singleton. Alex Singleton.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. God, it's so nice to have that first hit between Nakobe and Cam Scatterbo was gonna just rock the rafters.
That might cause a small earthquake.
I'm saying, bro, like they're gonna feel the impact from that. From that.
It's gonna leave a crater in Lincoln Financial Field.
Literally, dude. Okay, so for me, I'll go with our boy Quinion, against
who? Against who?
That's what I'm saying.
Against who?
whoever that they put out there, I just would like to see the Giants not complete their 2 only explosive passes on the Eagles. That would make me really, really, really excited. It would be super nice. I would smile looking at the TV if that doesn't happen. But in all seriousness, like obviously it's like kind of like a lopsided matchup, but that's what it was last time for us, right? It was a lopsided matchup where it was just like the Giants garbage that we had starting, and we're getting cooked by Giants fans in the chat for taking their sloppy seconds, bro. That's what he said, and he's right. So it'll just be nice to see our cornerback, our CB1 out there and just locking down the field, man. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, so for me, looking at the Eagles defense and Giants offense, I'm going to go Jalen Carter versus the interior of the Giants offensive line. We talked all pod about how Jalen Carter was able to make Carson Wentz uncomfortable last week and how Jackson Darty's playing a lot of backyard football, kind of running around, and how in the first game, the Eagles, they were able to get pressure, but they weren't able to bring him down. Well, Jalen Carter's going to be active this week. I want to see a repeat of Georgia versus LSU when Jalen Carter picked up Joe Burrow and had him in one arm, or against the Rams last year in was it divisional round where he picked up Matt Stafford with one arm. Let's do that to Jackson Dart this week. Let's.
I don't want to see him picked up. I want to see him smashed into the ground, dude. Don't pick him up. Just body slam him, bro. Just God.
I want to see a game wrecker type of game from Jalen Carter.
I want to see him hit him so hard that his chain comes flying off.
Take his chain like that.
Like Jahad Campbell did to him in college.
Is what?
Like Jahad Campbell?
Yeah, I hate a rebel. I hate
like Jahad Campbell did to him in college.
I'm the only one who can be a rebel. All right, everyone else, get in line. All right, get in line. Step up. Come on. You're representing the New York Football Giants. All right, that's a classy organization. Ever met John Mara? Classy organization. That's what they pride themselves on. They say that all the time. The Giants are a classy organization. It's a thing. They love to say that. Listen, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying they like to say it. It's their messaging, right? Listen, giving Stacks Fifth his little shout out there, man. Appreciate you, populating the chat, bro. I mean, how many messages, dude? Just message after message. It would be nice if any of the Eagles fans that we had here would do that as well, but I mean, I guess that's asking too much. Anyways,
somebody got to defend our honor.
Nobody did. In fact, Tyler wanted to hop in the chat to just tell us that, oh yeah, Jordan Humphrey beat Georgia when he was at. I don't care about Jordan Humphrey. How about that? I don't care about Jordan Humphrey. I hate Jordan.
His name is Lil Jordan.
Jordan. I hope Lil Jordan catches nothing against the Eagles. I don't care if he beat Texas or if he beat Georgia. Get out of here, Lil Jordan Humphreys, Lil man. Jesus Christ! All right,
man, big body.
I know, man. Jesus. None of that again. All right.
That's really his name, Lil. That's his first name. Lil.
Lil Jordan.
It's interesting.
The attendance must have been interesting. Lil?
No, it's Lil Jordan.
You think it says when they put the last name first, it's like Humphrey Lil Jordan or Humphrey Jordan Lil? Humphrey Jordan Lil? Do we have a Humphrey Jordan Lil here? All right. Game prediction?
In fact, you want to know something? He was named Lil Jordan because he's named after Michael Jordan.
Oh, bozo.
Come on,
bozo.
Man.
I'd hate my life if I was named after that.
Bro, they set him up for failure. Guy. They're like, you're not going to be the real Jordan. You're going to be Lil Jordan. All right. Don't ever think you're going to be at that level. You can stay Lil, though. Not normal Jordan, though. You think he wears kids' Jordans then? Like, he's not allowed to wear adult Jordans?
Get out of
here. Shops at Kids Foot Locker. All right. Game predictions. Let's get those and then get out of here. Quill, you want to start again?
No, I'm not. I want to see if I need to go buy a dog or a church.
Okay. Do I need to issue a public apology for my game pick last week?
No, you ain't got to issue a public apology. Not to the playoffs until you pull that damn stunt.
All right.
Or at least a big-time matchup. The Vikings, that was getting close to a big-time matchup. If Carson Wentz didn't start, then I would have said yeah. But he kind of like gifted us that.
Man, oh no, we're gonna face JJ McCarthy instead of Carson Wentz. Oh no, it's the same guy. All right, I'll start then. I'm gonna go Eagles 27, Giants 14. Just get some points on them and just run the water off. Like they don't need to be scoring, doing as much as they did last time. You have the ability to do that. Just do it.
You want to go, Q, or you want me to go?
Only my prediction.
I'll go. So you're talking about an Eagles-Giants matchup. This is fun. Giants kind of stole something away from Philadelphia in the first matchup. But the Giants haven't swept the Eagles since 2007. In fact, the Giants haven't won in Philadelphia since 2013. I think over the last 17 meetings, they are 15-2 against the Giants in Philadelphia. So shout out to our good friend Eric Eagle on that. This is one of those games where if you truly want to be a Super Bowl champion, you have to win these games. Not just because it's the Giants and they beat you the last time, but this essentially is the difference between you being in late December and a dogfight for the NFC East with the Commanders or insert team there, and you putting the distance between you and the rest. You have been, despite how bad the Eagles have played up to this point, you've been given a blessing to be able to put this game, put this division away. I think you should take advantage of it. So I'm going to go Eagles 33, Giants 28.
28. Oh, wow.
It's going to be a dogfight, brother. They're gonna fire. They're going to fire.
Like I said at the top of the pod, bro, this Eagles team has not forgotten.
Again, this Eagles team could not forget how they feel all they want. I just watched this Giants team, granted, get walked down nonetheless, but they just put 32 points on the head top of a healthy number one defense in football. I'm not naive. I just don't think we're going to lose.
I think that's fair, but I also just think they've been on the hot streak of hot streaks. And I think that the hot streak kind of came to a halting stop in the fourth quarter of that last game, and I think we're getting that momentum. I don't buy it. I think they're just fraudulent. Pierre?
This is a Super Bowl champion team. This is a prideful. This is Philadelphia, man. We're not losing this game, bro. Give me the Eagles 35, Giants 14.
So emotional.
Yeah.
He's like on the first chair. He's like, well, he said they get 28 points. Well,
nah, it's not even just that. After that stunt he pulled last week, embarrassing me in front of our company, I'm like, oh my gosh, you
did do it in front of the company. That was nasty work. Like, I've picked against the Eagles, but like to do it in front of others, bro, like gotta have some pride, my boy. I'm telling Jalen, you did.
Listen, bro. Listen. After that Thursday night game, dog, my confidence was like
negative aura, bro.
low.
It was negative aura, bro. Negative aura on that one, dude.
I can respect it. I can respect. My man said, "Look, bro, they gonna have to show me."
They did. They showed me. They showed me. They did.
Oh, so when I say they have to show me, I'm the bad guy. But when Pierre does, I get it. There's a double standard here. There's a double standard here. I'm smelling it. I'm sniffing it out. Pierre, I'm not forgiving you. Okay, I don't understand it. My God, it was Carson Wentz, dude. Have some pride, dude. Carson.
It had nothing to do with Carson. It had nothing to do with Carson.
It had everything to do with Carson.
He was running from Brian
Flores. We should have never gotten rid of Carson Wentz. Oh man, dude, Carson Wentz was so good. Do you remember 2017 Carson? That's what you did, bro. That's what you did, man. And I can't forgive it. Quell might, but I can't. I hold a grudge. I'm good at it.
Bro said I'm an Eagles fan.
You are an Eagles fan. On Kelly Green Week too. It's Eagles fan Pierre. All right, man. Well, we appreciate all 87 of you who joined Brent Selleck. Let's go. Shout out to the GOAT, dude. That's my guy. Thank you to everyone who tapped in. Make sure you rate, review, listen when it comes out, subscribe, 5 stars. You know the drill.
Sorry for that big boom earlier, you guys. I dropped my photo beside me. I'll be picking it up now.
But with that, I honestly I don't. Quell had a good transition to the Go Birds last time, but all I got for everybody is just Go Birds, man.
Go Birds,
Go
bro.
Birds. Like, comment, subscribe. Go view all the cool stuff.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, all that.
And make it
Until
fun,
next time.
man.
This
Let's
is
make it fun.
the most delayed like exit ever. We're like, and actually don't forget to do that and hit us up if you want to be friends, dude. Just hit us up, dude. We're really cool, man.
Photos, guys. This is beautiful. Beautiful
Look at
day. But yeah, man, and come on, man. Let's make it fun. We posted our photo shoot. Shout out to honor everybody for Kelly Green Week. Show us your best Kelly Green photos on the quote the tweet, man.
If you don't even want to tweet, just if you don't want to put a picture of yourself, just say something. Anything. Just anything. Feels like we're talking to a wall, man. Anyways, Go Birds, man. Get out of here.
Go Birds.